What's going on, y'all? This is John Alsace with Facemask Fantasy. We got new up-to-date fantasy content coming your way every day on this channel, so if you have not subscribed already, then please hit that button. But before we get into our main topic for today, my co-host Nick Payne put in a ton of work to give you guys a free 2021 Redraft draft kit available on our website, which can be found at facemaskpod.com. It's a great piece of content, something that other analysts might be charging you for, but we're giving it to you for free. So without further ado, let's get into some fantasy talk. And today I wanted to talk about Jalen Camp. Now, the Jaguars selected Georgia Tech wide receiver Jalen Camp with the 209th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. He comes in at 6'2", 226, so he has that prototypical X receiver build that you're looking for. He was a 3-year starter at Georgia Tech, even though he did miss the back half of the 2019 season with an injury. Now, in his senior season, he only earned 29 receptions for 439 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he's a very raw prospect. His lack of production in college is pretty unappealing if you're looking at it and trying to diagnose, can this guy be an asset for my fantasy team? He never caught 30 balls in a season, and he's never had an 100-yard game. But the QB play at Georgia Tech was never anything good in his time there, as the quarterbacks there routinely had sub 50% completion percentages throughout his career there. What he does bring to the table is stellar athleticism. He posted a 9.75 RAS, which is relative athletic score. It puts a prospect's combine numbers and athletic measurables up against every other person who's ever been measured at that position since 1987 and gives them a score. 9.75 is pretty damn good. We're looking at top 5% here. He absolutely demolished his Georgia Pro Day. He ran a 4.43, and again, that's at 6'2", 226 pounds. He also put up 30 bench reps at 225 pounds, which would have broken the combine record. So technically, when you're looking at this guy, you're not looking at him based off of college production. You're looking at him based off of athletic measurables, and the coaching staff is likely looking at him as a great moldable ball of clay. But he needs time to develop a route tree. He needs time to learn the ins and outs of the position. Now, as a very late round draft pick, it is fair to wonder if he would even get drafted in a regular draft year, because the NCAA granted everybody in college an extra year of eligibility due to the pandemic in 2020. As a result, the 2021 NFL draft had about 1/3 the number of prospects as a normal year, because so many players opted to return to school to improve their draft stock following either sitting out the 2020 COVID season or just dealing with a shortened season altogether. Many of those prospects could have been day 3 picks, even day 2 picks, that would have pushed Jalen Camp off of the draft board and into the undrafted free agent pool. But he was drafted in the 6th round, so to that point, while it's important to note, it doesn't necessarily matter now that he's on the roster of an NFL team. That said, he's an extreme long shot to make this roster. I mean, look at this depth chart from the wide receiver position. We got Marvin Jones, Philip Dorsett, Tavon Austin, and Laquan Treadwell having been brought in through free agency just this past offseason to compete along with DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, and Colin Johnson. And so he should theoretically be competing for the 7th spot with fellow rookie, and I'm going to mess up this name, I apologize, Josh Imahortebebe. I think I said that right. But back to Jalen Camp, it's more likely that he's a practice squad stash. But going back to Camp, it's more likely that he's a practice squad or a special teamer who may need to wait on his development to grow into his impressive physical traits and hopefully end up as a great outside wide receiver down the line. But he needs a ton of work. This is the definition of a project. And as a result, this is not somebody that I am looking for in any dynasty leagues. In DFS, he might not make the roster. In season long, he might not make the roster. And even if he does make the roster in 2021, it'll be as an end of roster guy. You likely will not see him on game day. Where I am keeping an eye on him though is dynasty leagues, but I'm not adding him to my roster. This is just a guy that I'm adding to my watch list just to see if a couple of years down the road, when this wide receiver depth chart for the Jaguars gets a little depleted, maybe this is a guy that can come in year 2, year 3, show improvements that he's made since coming into the league and lock down a spot further up on the depth chart. But at this point, he's a wait and see. He's not somebody that I'm putting on my dynasty team. Even if I have a taxi squad spot available to him, chances are there are other guys on your waiver wire that have more draft capital, that show more promise than Jalen Camp. So as a result, I would be recommending to you to keep him on your watch list as well, but don't go all in on him even in dynasty. So what do you guys think? About Jalen Camp? Put your thoughts in the comments section below. My name is John Alsace. This is Facemask Fantasy. Once again, we bring you new, up-to-date fantasy content every day on this channel. So if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do. Thank you for listening and have a great day.